Good afternoon, everyone. Jackson Fisk with Goal Zero. We are the simple way to manage safety. We offer turnkey compliance and remote management for all your safety and business needs. After my plug, welcome to 0 Hour Episode 8. 0 Hour is an interview broadcast where we talk with business owners and non-for-profits, all in the effort to share their stories, successes, and challenges with you. Today's guest is Laurette Lee with Phoenix Career Development. So, what does the legendary career look like? Well, Laurette is an employment specialist that has been doing career development for 6 years. She teaches a program that's based on proper theories to get your dream job. Her clients range from students, immigrants, people with disabilities, and just the general population that hate their job. That's never happened, right? So, Laurette has worked with 3 non-for-profit companies and found the need within the industry that was not getting addressed properly. We've all had a junior high or high school career development teacher that had really no idea how to actually teach you how to get your dream job. So, Phoenix Career Development is based on the thought of growth is uncomfortable. Your dream career is uncomfortable. It's legendary, but it's uncomfortable. We have to face the demons inside to really fly like a phoenix. So, with that intro, let's get to it.
Hello.
How's it going, Laurette?
Good. Thanks for inviting me today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me today. As you can see, we got, there it is, Green Lantern behind you. We can geek out about that later, but thank you for joining me for episode 8. I've done 8 of these now, and people still show up and listen, so that's awesome.
Right.
We talk about employment specialists. I've said that now. And you got to tell me, what is it?
Right?
Because I had it in your intro where we had, your counselor in school try to guide you to employment. And I remember mine. And he goes, Jackson, what do you do? I'm like, I'm going to join the Army. He goes, yeah, that's probably best for you. Right. And that was it. And that was the only influence of career development that I probably ever had. So tell me about it.
I just love the theory because I was like, when I was 6 playing with my stuffed animals, I was like, I'm going to teach these people. Holy crap. How do people pick jobs? Do you know what I mean? So I was designed to do this as a little child. I knew, how do you get your dream job? And that was the theory of my life is I had to figure this out. So fast forward, I graduated university and I talked to an employment specialist and they're like, just go on Alice. I'm like, what? I'm asking you a question about how to develop my careers. He was not helpful because I'm like, Alice looks like someone puked on it. And you probably don't even know what Alice is, do you?
I don't. So let's stop for a second and explain to me what that is.
Alberta Learning Information Services. So the government does have a free website to tell you and teach you how to get your dream job, but no one knows about it. So there's so much hiddenness within finding your dream job. And I was like, well, it's free information, but no one knows how to use it. So I'll gather all the information. Also, I talked to, because now I'm an employment specialist. Now I'm in this. Now I want to know how to become one because there's just so many ones that aren't that great.
Okay. So you wanted your dream job to teach people how to get their dream job.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I like power and control. And what's the most control in your life is your job. So I'm like, if I teach people how to get their dream jobs, they now have their own power and control because it's about you at the end of the day. So I talked to another employment specialist from the government and they were Mint. They told me about the NOC code, National Occupational Classifications, and how do job descriptions get made? They don't just randomly happen, right? So
yes,
job descriptions are made.
Make them up all the time. It's like my business card.
There's a system to it. So once I found out about the NOC code, I'm like, why don't people know about it? You even just said, what are you talking about? I just make up job descriptions. No,
Yep.
There's an easier way to do it.
Okay, I don't for all my clients or anyone who wants to work with me. But
Little FYI.
yeah. Okay, so you
So,
found Alice
mhm,
on the internet, and it's this great run government website, like all
yeah,
the government information in a websites are.
it just looks, it's overwhelming. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, where do I go from this? What do I do? And then, so I actually have a Bachelor of Arts in General Studies with a minor in sociology and some teaching, because I was like, I know grade 12 is not enough. Let's get some more education in me. And then
Okay.
I was like, 10 years of like every job and any job. I was a welder. I like did data entry. I did this, I did that, like over 40 jobs in 10 years. I know how
Okay.
to get my dream jobs. Every job that I've done is a dream job. So I was like, okay, I want to be an employment specialist. I know how to get jobs that are amazing. Why don't other people know how? So then 7 years later, I was like, okay, I'm going to get my career development diploma. Was
Okay.
not in the field. I just got a diploma. And then this is why I talk about Phoenix career development as well, because once you believe in yourself, like it took me 10 years to be an employment specialist because I didn't believe in myself and I did the background work, right? But once I believed in myself, 2 months to be an employment specialist. My first interview, they're like, you don't have experience in the field. I'm like, excuse me? I have 10 years like working with different companies and getting every dream job along the way. And I have 10 years of working with youth and helping them find their jobs. And honestly, I have an education in career development. I have tons of experience, even though I didn't have experience in the field. But it's about really believing in yourself at the end of the day.
I find that, well, yeah, that's like every job, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want you to have 5 years experience. Well, how do I get 5 years experience if you don't give me an opportunity?
We've all been there. Can't get a
Yeah.
job because I don't have experience. Don't have experience because I don't have a job. Ugh, I've done that circle. That circle's not fun, but you can
Yeah,
break the circle.
you can. So I didn't even know there was a diploma in career development.
I have it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's awesome. Tell me, where did you go to take that? Like how?
Back in the day, Concordia University had it in Edmonton. So,
Okay.
and I did my research. It's actually online now. I don't know. There's a couple colleges that do it online. So anyone can learn how to be an employment specialist. But it's a type of person, by the way, and I'm that type of person.
That you are.
Don't waste your time. Just come to me and I'll help you find your dream job.
Okay.
I have the theory already.
Okay, so before we get into that career path, when you got your education,
Mhm.
and now you're applying to be an employment specialist for who?
Let's talk about rejection, okay?
Okay.
So in Edmonton, there's probably about 4 different main ones back in the day. There's like McBride, there's OSP, there's Employabilities, and then there's like another one. Do you know what I mean? So over the course of like 10 years, I probably applied for each one of them 16 times because I was like, rejection goes a long way. But I tried and I tried and I tried. And I'm like, clearly applying for jobs does not work, but a little network does. So I was like, that's it. I got to talk to the big wigs in the top and be like, how do you become an employment specialist? So each one of them, Boyle Street is the other one, like had a little conversation with me because I was interested in learning about how to be an employment specialist correctly from the titans in the field. And they all were like, oh, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. So does that answer your question?
I guess so. Well, that's funny when we say hiring doesn't work. You got to think that
Networking works.
networking does work,
Meeting
right?
the
So
person works.
you emulate the people you surround yourself with, right?
Mhm.
Like you hear that in every business book. If
A
you want to
good
succeed,
conversation goes a long way. Make
yeah.
some friends.
If you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people.
Yeah.
You want to start working out, hang out with people who work out.
Right?
Because like
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
yeah, right. Crushes our egos a little bit some days, but you go, hey, that's you should always be learning and you should always be bettering yourself.
Yeah.
So you went around. There's been a long path to surrounding yourself with the right people. So how did you get your first? Who was your first employment specialist official job with?
McBride Career Group.
Okay.
And it was
So-
only for 7 months. So I got my dream job for 7 months, and that was in 2008 when the recession was like back in the day bad. Like,
Yeah.
and then I got unemployed within 8 months of having my dream job, and I was like, oh hell no, that's not happening again. So I knew I had a month to find a job. I applied for like 30 jobs. OSP was hiring, and they help people with disabilities find jobs. It was like the Friday I applied. No, the Thursday I applied for the job. The Friday was my last day. She called me for an interview on the Friday, had the interview on like the Monday or the Tuesday, got the job by the Wednesday. So like I'm the unheard of person. And then I worked at OSP for like 2 years.
Okay. So what did you do when you're working with OSP and working with people with disabilities to help them try to find a career?
Yeah.
Tell us about that
You
process.
want to know what the secret is? Every single person has a disability. I have a disability, and I'm running my own company.
I probably have several, and we don't even want to go on like they're undiagnosed, but
so that's my point. But like disability is a stigma. It doesn't have to be. The amount of people that I've worked with disabilities, their abilities are their superpowers. So I know that's like super like cheesy, but I love people, and I love raw people that understand they have a disability, but they have something more to offer. So people that are, why can't I think of the word? People that can't talk.
Mute.
Yeah, that's the word. they are amazing dexterity wise. So like making a puzzle, doing something creative, their superpower is amazing. Like I'm not a fancy schmancy kind of person, but those types of people are so quiet. They can figure stuff out really well, like immaculately. So it's about understanding, yes, people have disabilities. What is their superpower within their disability? And it totally, like one guy, he was like really shy. He had like a mental disability, but he was like a big guy. And I'm like, you could do security. So I got him a job at Backstage Support Services. He loved that job. That's his dream job. That's where he wanted to be. And I totally got it for him. It took a long time, but like the company was like, yes, come here. We will work with you. And it was so beautiful because a good communication works a long way. And just understanding what makes you cool, right?
Yeah. So when the people come in, what was like, did they reach out to you or like OBS, or is there like an application process?
It was really easy
by the government, or was it?
Yeah, it's like government funded. So you would walk into OSP and be like, I have a disability, help me. They would help you. And like a lot of the government knows about OSP too. So the government would be like, oh, you have a disability, go to OSP. And OSP is like employability is just different. They have the same contracts, but they do different things. It's just so funny because OSP has been around for a long time. Nobody knows about it. Like just the weirdness that goes along with being an employment specialist or like getting your dream job, it's so hidden. Like I think it's even hidden for most people because they're like, I think I know what I want to do, but I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, come to me for clarification.
Well, I look back at like what I said my dream job would be as a kid, and I think first it was a Ninja Turtle. So like, that's your first route. Then it's a superhero. And then I was like, well, then I want to be a fireman or a cop or a, paramedic. And I kind of went all those routes and, well, somewhat in shape or form. I went, hey, I want to be a cop. And the police went, you're not allowed to be a cop. And I went, okay.
But I want to be one.
That's a story for another time. There might be a book about it. But, and I go, well, that sucks. So I go, hey, well, the Army will take me because they'll take anyone. And, I called it my hero complex, and but those were the jobs that I felt that I wanted to do. It was either that or just superhero. Well, but, when I think of everyone else's thought processes and even like my own career development, it still doesn't go that way that I thought. And I just kept adapting, and you finally get into this fit of what you're going to do.
And
right?
It's a lifelong journey. You don't get there. There's no end point. You know what I mean? It's like the journey along the way. So like, are you enjoying today? Are you enjoying what you're doing today? And so that's another thing that I really think about when career development is what can you do today to be happy? What can you do to be healthy? That's it. People forget about that. They're like, go, go, go to the end of the race. This is not a race. This is like little like however you want to create your life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
enjoy today. And so many people forget about today.
Well, and I think we all can get caught up in, sure, it's you do need to keep that mindset, because it doesn't matter. You can say that every time and you go, today's a bad day. Like, I'm having a bad day. But you got to be able to pick yourself up from it, right? Yeah. So that mindset of your
and I think the little kid needs to play in you, and the adult needs to play at the same token. So the very first thing, you would never ask someone as an employment specialist, what do you want to do when you grow up? People hate that question. Do you know what I mean?
I haven't grown up yet. I just lost more hair.
I know, right? So instead of saying, what do you want to do when you grow up? You ask, what did you play with when you were younger? And then that's how you play. That's how you interpret your career. That's what you do when your career is play. Because I really feel like working is playing. This is play. Being on this podcast, I'm like, I'm playing today.
Works for me. That's mine too. Again, it's one of those things. It's like, hey, people are listening. Maybe 5 of them. It's awesome. Appreciate all of you.
5. Hey, 5.
Hey, I want to go back to when we're talking about the people with disabilities and their superpowers.
Yeah.
I found this post on social media yesterday, and I shared it, and I wanted to see if I can bring this up. Let's see how my technology is going to work here. Yeah, but it's only live. What's the worst that can happen, right?
Yay!
Nice. And I don't know if I can zoom in on this, but this gentleman right here, I looked at this and I got so emotional, because he's obviously suffering from some disabilities, yet he is hustling, and I love this, to make a career for himself. And if anyone's in Calgary, call this gentleman up. He even has handicapped and hustling on his interior and exterior detailing company. Like, it's just amazing. So when I looked at this, I went, cool. I really have no excuse today. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, working with people with disabilities is my favorite. They're usually the funnest people, and they're like the most willing to learn, and they just enjoy life most of the time.
Well, it's like anyone else too. You just want to have a purpose and belong.
Yeah, and honestly, I never even talk about their disability. They may tell me once, and then I forget it half the time. I'm like, I don't even remember what your disability is.
And as we all should as a society, right? Yeah. Like, that's, hey, you are a person. Let's treat you like a person. Maybe we have to adapt some sort of workflow. Yeah. Big deal. Right?
It's so easy to adapt. Like, this one person, I forget his disability. All I had to do was buy him a special mouse. He was good to go. I'm like, look, that's how easy it is.
Awesome. So from OBS.
Mm-hmm. OSP.
OSP.
Placement. You don't know.
But by the end of it, it might just be a completely different acronym. So I apologize if anyone from there is listening.
Yeah, right. I'm like, because I'll send this to Tracy.
So from there, what was your path forward?
So at OSP, I got a disability. I have cardiomyopathy, and I almost died. So I lost my job at OSP because I got a disability. There's more to it. The contract ended, but I was like, well, that's super awkward.
It's like, I'm pretty sure there's some employment standards around that.
No, they did it within the law. Okay. Right. Okay.
As we're just talking them up of how great they are, and then smashing them right down.
Right. That's what happened, though. That's like on my interpretation. But my contract ended. So then I was like, I'm already in Success Energy. I'm already an employment specialist, but like, very hard, having a heart condition, almost dying. Everything just desecrated my thought process. And I was like, I know there's no stability working with nonprofits, but I was like, I'm not ready to start my own company. So then I found Assist.
Okay.
No, yeah, Assist. Community Services. That's the other one. So they help immigrants find jobs in Canada, which I love, working with immigrants as well. And my contract was for 8 months. And then I lost it again, but I knew I was going to lose it. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the definition of
a contract.
So I was like, I need stability. So I talked to an entrepreneur. He ran J&K Career Services, and he's an immigrant coming to Canada, having no idea what an employment specialist is. He's just like, I'm going to get people jobs here in Canada. So I'm like, wait, an immigrant coming to Canada, having no employment specialist experience at all, is running a company. Oh, I need to talk to him. So they had like English teacher positions available. I'm not an English teacher, but I applied for that job. I know how to like change my resume. But he like called me for an interview, and I was like, I don't even care about the teaching job. Let's have a conversation about how you're an entrepreneur. And he's like, I just do it. So I was like, can I job shadow you? He's like, sure. So I job shadowed him for about a year. Okay. And I was like, I can do this. I can be an entrepreneur. Like anyone can be an entrepreneur. There's no magic to being an entrepreneur. The magic is you don't know what you're doing half the time. You're probably yelling inside most of the time, like, what's going on? But like, the simplicity of being an entrepreneur is you do an amazing service, people give you money. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, that's AB. That's all I'm doing here is making some money. So
started from the lemonade stand as your kid. Hey, I used mom's ingredients and then tried to sell them for a profit, which she lost a complete bath on, right? But you're like, thanks, Mom.
There was a lot of lemons going on. It was sour.
Yeah.
So he wasn't paying me enough. I was working under the table, but I was like, hey, I can figure it out. And then I was like, man, I need an emergency job right now. So I actually worked at Concordia University as an admissions advisor. Again, I probably applied for that job about 20 times. I had the interview, didn't get the job, but I was like, thank you so much for hiring me. A month later, the position popped up again. And I was like, oh, I'm applying again. And so they called me and they're like, you don't need to interview again. It was a good interview. I'm like, thanks. So I got hired for 4 months and I'm like, okay, this is seed money. I'm going to be an employment specialist, no longer an employment specialist, admissions advisor. And I was like, I miss helping people find their dream jobs. Like, I loved Concordia, but it like wasn't my dream. So they offered me an extension on my contract and I'm like, no, I'm starting my own company. Please lay me off so I can go to Anderson Career Training Institute because they teach people the nitty gritty of how to be an entrepreneur. Like I didn't know that you needed to like get your sole proprietorship and then you get your tax number, right? So I'm like, very simple things I now know because I went to Anderson Career Training Institute and then they gave me mentors along the way. And then like, it's a program, so it ends. And then my mentorship ended and I'm like, oh no, I need a BNI or I need a syndicate to like have some friends along the way. So that's where I met you.
Nice plugs. Great job.
I believe in the team.
Yeah, hey, and that's great. Surround yourself by successful people and we'll all think we're successful.
Ignorance is bliss. That's also one of my things.
Okay, so back this up. Mm-hmm. So you went to the career development program. Yeah. So like when I think of that, it's like, okay, it's like an MBA. But no, we're going to go like basic fundamentals.
Yeah, fundamentals, 2 months. You kind of get unemployed and then it's free. And people are like, what? So those people that are unemployed right now and interested in learning how to like be entrepreneurs, go to Anderson Career Training Institute in Edmonton. And they're growing and expanding. So like because of Zoom, they'll like, it doesn't matter if you're in Edmonton, Alberta. You can do it if you're in BC and stuff like that too. So
that's
highly recommend.
That's pretty amazing because pretty much every episode we touch on all the things we don't know about business and had to learn.
Right.
And there's so much unless you came from like a structured educational background, and then great, you have theory. Now you still have to apply it to whatever you're doing. Right.
And like theory is so hard. So like how to get your dream job, that's where I come in. That's where my company comes in. You don't have to figure out the theory. I will teach you the theory.
Okay, so let's jump into that. So you went through this and now you're on your own entrepreneurial journey from 10 plus years of grinding it out.
I did it, man. I ate the dirt.
Being persistent.
Yeah.
Right.
I got the rejections. You know what else? My first job in the university, market researcher, I called 100, 200, 300 people a day. I got rejected 300 times a day, but I also made 17 amazing calls a day. So like, I'm good at what I do. I'm good at the numbers game. I'm good at being rejected. That's not a lie.
That's kind of when we started this, even when we started talking about the show of, hey, I used to be nervous and I didn't want to do this. And then I realized that, well, I don't actually care.
No one
And
believes me. I was the most nervous person ever. No one believes me. I was really, really, really shy growing up. People are like, no. I'm like,
yep, you wouldn't believe it.
seriously.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about Phoenix career development.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your process, your vision, right? And walk me through it.
Well, because of my heart condition, a lot of things got torn away from my life. Like, things don't matter at the end of the day. What matters? What can I do to be happy? What can I do to be healthy? Who really cares about me? Do you know what I mean? And like, I find my old pattern beliefs are gone. I also took this like personal development course. So that's why I talk a little hippy dippy now. But like, a good personal development goes a long way. But the Phoenix is me, but the Phoenix is you. So like, my heart condition, I almost died. But like, now I'm like building an empire, and it's really, really fun. And people don't know, but the Phoenix is continually fire better. In order to learn and grow, you have to like walk through the fire continuously to grow. But like, very fun. I never thought at 37 I would be on a podcast talking about like Phoenix career development. Do you know what I mean? But my vision is a journey of epic proportions. What does that mean? That's the definition of legendary.
I love all of this. This is great.
This is my book too. So no one take this. It's live now. I'm writing a book. It's going to be called The Journey of Epic Proportions. But like, I really feel like people aren't enjoying life anymore. Do you know what I mean? People aren't creating beauty. And like, the Phoenix is a sign of beauty. And like, death is real, but life is real too. That Marianne Williamson, if we give permission for us to shine, other people can shine. And most people fear our brightness, actually. Like, the darkness is easy. You know what I mean? The darkness is comfortable, but life and growth is super uncomfortable. So the Phoenix, uncomfortable. But life is so beauty in uncomfortable, because that's growth. I hope that answers your question.
Well, you got your vision down, right? Yeah. So that is super clear, which is awesome. And it makes sense, right? I had a gentleman talk to me when I was going through an apprenticeship. And, I've had some great mentors through my career that keep helping me. If you want to bounce down a dark path, they keep making you go in the right way. And this was like even long after my career. And he said, Jackson, it's really easy to be a expletive, like, you can be a shithead, and that's super easy, and you think you're tough and you're cool and you do all this. It's like, no, it's hard being a good person.
Seriously, being the good guy.
Yeah, he's like, it's a challenge every day, and you have to make that choice. And it was a little more rough around the edges when he said it, but it really hit home. And you go, yeah, it really is easy to go down this one way, right? It's you can do whatever you want, but it's hard every day to make that commitment to like, hey, I'm going to better myself and I'm going to do this. Okay, so we got the vision down.
I have a cheat sheet. It's all here, man.
Awesome. Tell us about who you're looking for to help, how they find you, and kind of what your process is for your courses that you offer.
Yeah, I have like 4 target audiences. My dog's like, can you hear her? Because
it's all good.
Let me just like get her. Sorry, I told you this was gonna happen.
It will be a special guest appearance.
Yeah. So this is my little ride or die. Come here, Argy. Oh no, she just wants to go outside. But now she won't bother me anymore. Ask the question again.
Okay. So how do people
get in touch?
Yeah, get in touch with you, and then tell us through the process of what you're offering people to help them find their dream jobs.
I kind of break it down into 4, which you told at the very beginning, like immigrants coming to Canada, someone that's unhappy at their career, and then someone with a disability, and then just a student that's graduating from grade 12 or university is like, oops, I don't know how to get a job. The process of mine is I teach 10 classes. They're about an hour long, and I teach them on Zoom. So you don't actually have to go anywhere. You just have to click on a link, and then you're part of. I teach classes, and then I teach one-on-one. So one-on-one is more expensive, but my classes is like a reasonable rate. So that's why I rather prefer people to like go to the classes. So then you have a network of people to work with. Like how you get your job is your network. So teaching classes makes sense. The classes start at the very beginning. I teach a free class, which is career planning. Like so many people don't sit there and be like, what do I want in life? So the first class, one of the activities is just my dreams. And then you sit there and you get to write all the dreams that you want. So very exciting. I like that class. That's why I offer it for free. Like, I believe like, okay, like, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what the hardest question is to ask yourself? What do I want? Hardest question you can ever ask yourself. But once you figure that out, that's where the fun begins. So career planning is the first class. Second class is personality and authentic happiness. So if I asked you, what are your top 4 values? What would you say?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, super hard.
Honesty, loyalty, respect, and money.
Nice. So most people, they're like, and then they're like, I think I know, but I don't know. So now if I asked you, what are your top 24 values? What would you say? And can you rank them?
Can't even count that high.
Exactly. So personality, authentic happiness, I have a test that's like, it will give you your top 24 values. How you base your career planning is your values. What's important to you? What makes you happy, right? So that's why the theory is understand yourself first. And what is your personality? Like there's a certain type of person that's an accountant. There's a certain type of person that does podcasts. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain type of person that does this, or as a teacher. Teachers are a type of person. So that's kind of.
Do you do like structured like behavioral profile on them?
Yep. My buddy Justin, name drop him all the time.
Yep. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. Mr. X. And then I do Holland's Code. So you get your own personal and what's great about the Holland's Code is it then gives you jobs that you could possibly do and that you could possibly want. And what's cool about personality and authentic happiness is it usually mirrors career planning. So it's like very much one of those packaged things that, oh, this is what makes me me. This is what makes you you. Then the third one is the hidden job market. That's the secret one. That's how you find a job before you get a job. So do you know what the hidden job market is, Jackson?
I don't, unless we're talking about the black market.
Yeah. Like even the clarifying terms are just like, what are you talking about? So the hidden job market is once a job is posted, it's done. It's finished. 1 million people are looking at that job, right?
Yep. Okay, fair enough.
The market is before it gets posted. You make some friends over here before it's posted, you're guaranteed hired here. So that's kind of what the hidden job market is. And it's about information. So when you cold call a company, you never ask, can I have a job? So many people aren't getting through cold calling because they suck at it. I cold call all the time and I'm great at it. And I get in through the gatekeepers because I know how. Like, it's so funny, that article that's like, cold calling's dead. No, it's not. You just suck at it.
Yeah, fair enough. Although when my phone does ring, I'm always like,
Not if I called you, Jackson.
I have tags in my phone. It's all right. No, I can't. It's a business phone. I pick up every call.
Yeah.
Except for some that I might flag for, hey, don't pick that one up. No.
Yeah. So that's the 4 is how to talk to employers. 3 is how to talk to employers. 4 is labor market. So many people don't understand. Your labor is a market. So yeah, COVID happened. Things are changing. Things are shifting for the better. So like if you're a psychologist, you're busy right now. If you're a speaker, you're busy right now. So yeah, some things are really low right now. Some things are really high. And before the pandemic, 2010, the most important jobs that everyone wanted, did not exist in 2002. I don't know how this works.
It's reversed on our screens. That's what I always do. I'm like,
so, so that's the thought of, with this pandemic, you can thrive and you can be creative imagination, and you can, like, it's just really fun because you can create your own jobs. Like, again, next year, there's going to be so many entrepreneurs coming up. It's going to be really fun because it's the simplicity of, I can make my own money, period. You should be having 7 streams of income. People don't think about that. They're like, I have this one job and that's it. Or I have 3 jobs with 3 different managers. Just be your own manager at the end of the day.
If it fits your personality profile.
Because it is a personality for sure.
Yeah.
So 5 is resumes in LinkedIn. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, here's my resume. I'm like, well, I don't know you. Like, please don't show me your resume the first time I meet you. I want to meet your personality. I don't care about a document. I beg to think, or I think resumes are dead. Okay. Yeah, you need a resume. I get that. That's a format to get a job. But if you network properly, you don't. So that's why I'm like, hey, Mr. LinkedIn, guess who lives on LinkedIn 24/7? This girl right here. So that's only the 5, right? I got 10 classes. So 6 is the fun one where it's marketing yourself. You're a product, but you're a darn good product. And like, how do you sell yourself?
Thank you.
Right? I know, right?
Yeah, thank you.
So everyone loves that course. They're like, oh, so I'm cool this way and I'm cool that way. I'm like, yes, you are. So it's really, again, learning about yourself. 6, work search basics. Looking for a job is a full-time job and you need to schedule that. Okay. Like, put some time in. That's all I'm saying. So that's kind of like a nitty-gritty. How do you find a job? Because it's not every Monday at 7 with your pajamas on Indeed. You're not getting a job on Indeed. Nope. So 8 is interview techniques, finally. So I'm teaching interview techniques today with one of my clients. I'm very excited. 9 is labor laws, finally. So that's the boring one, but like, you have a boring job too, but you find it cool. You know what I mean?
My job's not boring. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Policy and procedure is so fun.
Depends on how you look at it.
Also true.
Yeah, right. And sure,
back,
writing policy and deciphering code so it makes sense for people, not fun.
My brain just shut off. You just said policy, and I'm like,
yeah. Legislative due diligence. Yeah, there's another one. Let's go with that.
But it's important to know. Do you know what I mean? So
it is.
I teach labor laws because have the information, find the information, at least know where the information is, that in case you have a little quandary, you know where to look for it. I had a girl that emailed me yesterday, hey, I need to go on disability. Can I get another part-time job? And I'm like, I could tell you the right answer, but I'll give you the right answer and tell you where to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, who to ask? Because yes, I'm an employment specialist. Yes, I kind of know the question, but I'm like, why don't you just get it from the right source, which is like the labor laws in Canada?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Well, I cut you off.
I was going to say that's what, like, pretty much when you're a professional or specialist, anything. Yeah, sure, I can just tell you. But if I can educate you in the matter, right, and make you understand where it is, what you need to do, and how you can find it on your own, it helps empower you, but it also makes my life,
so much
way easier because you're not going to ask me 18 times.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to coach and mentor people on how to, solve
and
their
like,
own problems.
I'm an employment specialist. If you talk about feelings, no, talk to a psychologist. Like, I'm not a feelings person. I'm a theories person. I have a theory of career development. I don't ever want to talk about feelings.
Fair enough.
Gross. I will still talk about feelings if they need to. So I finished the best for last is strategies for success. So last class, what are you going to do? You need some strategies. So I talk about positive attitude. I do SMART goals. And I just shoved a buttload of things that I think are, this is good. This is good. Like mantras. People don't even use mantras anymore. Every day you tell yourself something great. Gratitudes. You I like this. Guess what? Like comes to it's energy. It's the hippie within us.
That's the Tony Robbins. That's the Tony Robbins approach.
Yeah. And it's valid.
Hey, he's doing all right.
We are energy, right? Even just in our natural Humanness is energy is energy. So money is energy. You are energy. Your career is energy. Energy. Hashtag.
Well, and that's the same as when you're building and going through all this process with people. Yeah, it is true. Like I'm an extroverted introvert. Like
Me too.
after all this stuff, it's like I need a nap, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go crash for a couple hours. But I know if I'm going into a networking meeting or if I'm going into any meeting or a group of people that I have to get myself in a certain state to go talk in front of people, right? Like
Yeah.
if I even got to go do a safety meet in front of 100 and some tradespeople, you got to be at a certain like mindset to be able to deal with that, right?
Mhm.
So
As
mantras are great.
yeah, as an entrepreneur, I was like, I'm gonna be part of the 1%. I'm like, how am I gonna do that? So my mantra is to build a mindset that's highly successful. Well, guess who's successful? Me.
It's a good loop.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so did we hit 10?
Yeah. So how you can actually talk to me is
Yep.
my website, www.phoenixcareerdevelopment.com. And
Okay.
then check me out on LinkedIn. Hit me up. You know what I mean? I'm always on LinkedIn. So if you want help,
You are.
LinkedIn. If you want
Yep.
help, go on my website. If you want help, ask for it. A good ask goes a long way. So come to me, people. If you really are if your hit point and your need is career development, come to me. That's
Yep.
You know what I mean? Find me. Not hard. I'm friends with Jackson on Facebook.
Perfect. So, let's, key takeaways from this: persistence,
Yeah. Rejection.
dedication, rejection, rebirth from rejection,
Yeah.
right?
You are the phoenix. You have all the power within you. You just need someone to ask you questions, because that's what I do is I ask questions, but you know the answers.
I do
Yeah.
know that. And yeah, like I like the story because so many people, when you hit roadblocks, it can really wear a person down, right?
Absolutely.
So to overcome that is huge on your own. Now, not everyone needs to be an entrepreneur, right?
No.
So take away from that, anyone listening, is you don't have to be an entrepreneur. It's a great rewarding career if you go that way. It's also stressful, and there's things that you never thought you'd find in your life that you go, oh, that was new today. I thought I knew that.
Oops.
But I do believe that in your life, should have some happiness and purpose. So, if anyone can help find that, I
Yeah.
think that's a good avenue to approach.
That's okay. This is going to be my takeaway. This is my final sentence. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Find your vision, mission, purpose in life. And I have another one, but I forgot it.
I think those are a few sentences, but that's
on. Enjoy the journey. That's what it is. What can I do to be happy? What can I do to be healthy today? Today, this moment. Can I be happy in this moment? Do you know what I mean? The mindset of today, like right now. Am I mad at something right now or not? Do you know what I mean? And if I am mad at something right now, do I have to stay there? No. The answer is no. You can be happy right now. I'm happy right now, but it's a trained behavior, by the way.
Absolutely it is. All right, Laurette, that was awesome. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining me for episode 8. And, anyone who's listening, we'll put her contact information up in the show notes like we always do. And thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, Jackson.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for episode 8. It was a great topic. Any questions you have, if you can't find Laurette on social media, reach out to me. I'll put you in contact with her. Like always, if you could please give us a like, a share, subscribe to our social media channels. Always appreciated. Have a great day.